Welcome to week 2 in business communications. Last week, you've looked at the foundations of communication. This week, you're going to be looking at the writing process of a business message. So let's jump into Blackboard and see what's happening. So at the start of Blackboard, you're going to have the What's New area, and this is where I want you to go in and see if there's other information from me. This is where I will post it. This is also where you will find the link to my Calendly app so that you can set up an appointment to visit with me. If you have questions, if you have concerns, if you just want to say hi, then click on this link and find a date and time that works for you, and I will give you a phone call. If you'd rather, we can meet via Zoom, or we can even meet in person at WSU South. If none of the dates work with your schedule, then send me an email, and we will work something else out. I am here to meet with you on your time, so just let me know what works for you. If none of these times will work. Again, in Module 1, we looked at the foundations of business communications, and you looked at Chapters 1, 2, and 3. Hopefully you learned some new things. This week, in Module 2, we're going to look at applying the 3-step writing process. Planning your business messages, writing your business messages, and then completing your business messages. So you're going to be looking at Chapters 4, 5, and 6 this week in the e-text. Now, in the e-text, remember, there's a lot of information here. You're probably not going to have time to read every single word in the chapter. So what do? First thing you're going to do is open up the e-text, and over here in the table of contents, you can see, like here in Chapter 4, planning business messages, talks about the 3-step writing process. If you're not sure what that is, then click on that link and look over that area. Analyzing the situation, gathering information, selecting the best combination, organizing your information, and summary. First thing you can do, though, this is what I would say, is go to the first page in the chapter, and it's going to give you right here, Chapter 4. Here's the learning objectives. So you can read through these so you know what's going to come up in the chapter. Then you can click down here on the summary, and here is a summary of the learning objectives and information on everything that you've learned in that the e-text talked about. If you have any questions about any of these, now you can come back up to one of these chapters. You also see right here the key terms from the chapter. So you can come over here and you can look back. If none of these make sense, you can go back and see what did they mean by specific purpose. You can click on that and go back to that area. You also have test your knowledge, apply your knowledge. We don't do any of these, so you don't need to worry about answering or doing any of these for points, but you can look here to see if you understand what the chapter was trying to convey. Now here in Chapter 5, we have writing business messages, and again you have the same thing. At the very beginning, here are your learning objectives. Here are the different areas in Chapter 5. Finally, here's a summary. So you can come here and look at the summary of the learning objectives as well. Chapter 6 is completing business messages, talking about revising. It's very important that before you send a business message that you review it, that you reread it, make sure that it makes sense. Never send an email message if you're mad or upset, because that usually comes across in your writing. So make sure if you're upset with something that you step away, take a break, and come back when you're calmed down. So again, you've got your learning objectives here for Chapter 6, and you can come over here and click and go to the summary. And if there's something in the summary that you want to know more about, then click on that area in the e-text. So that is the best way to look and use your e-text. Now, if we look at the assignments, like here's Chapter 4, is a PowerPoint listed here, so you can download the PowerPoint to find out, to get some additional information as well if you like. But here is the Chapter 4 simulation. Now again, this is videos that you watch through the video, and there's questions throughout the videos. Now, you can't just walk through them. You have to take the time to actually watch the video to answer the question in order to get the points. Then there is a quiz. Now the quiz is over your e-text. It's an open book. So if you want to have your book open as well while you're doing that quiz, that is completely fine. In Chapter 5, again, you have the PowerPoints for you. Those are just a resource if you want to utilize them. And then there is a video over writing messages that you need to watch and answer the questions as well. And then there is the quiz. Chapter 6, we have the same thing. There's a video with questions that you need to answer for your points for Chapter 6, and then there is a Chapter 6 quiz. Now, the discussion board is for Chapter 2 is about, hold on here so I get it correct, using different mediums to write the message. So if you don't use the right medium for your messages, then your audience isn't going to get them. I live in a very large HOA community, and our board, for whatever reason, only sends stuff out through Facebook and through Nextdoor. They don't mail any information anymore. Yet the majority of the homeowners in our association don't get on Facebook or Nextdoor, so they don't get the information that they need. So what do they need to do differently? Should they send postcards? Should they put flyers on the doors? What would be the best way to get that information across? Now, if most of your audience is on Facebook and you know that, or does read their email, then that's perfectly great. Have an email list to send out information on. But you need to know your audience. What is your audience most likely to look at? Look at technology, look at complexity of your messages, and then there's also cultural considerations. Are there any cultural norms or expectations related to your communication within your business, within your company, within your HOA? So I want you to look at these 4 different areas, and I want you to choose 2 of them and write some information. How do you feel about them? Some instances where you had to think about your audience preferences or technology's role. Then I want you to post your answer, but then I also want you to go back and reply to at least one other student, providing some additional insights into their experiences and maybe sharing some of your personal experiences with that student. So if you post early in the week, then your classmates have more time as well to post to somebody to get all the points. So again, your post should be at least 30 words. Make sure you use proper business English, punctuation, capitalization. And your replies should be a minimum of 15 words. They're probably going to be more than that. Don't just simply agree with your classmates or say, sounds like a good idea. Make sure that you come up with more as you reply to your classmates. As always, be respectful of your classmates and others when you are writing your discussion board questions and your replies. So that's week 2. Writing your business messages, planning them, completing them, revising them. So all of these assignments are due by next Sunday at 11:59 p.m. So make sure that you get your assignments completed on time. As always, reach out if you have questions. I am here for you. So have a great week.